did this painting last week, and you might want to do something like this.
Just did that last week.
But when you do the lotus, even if you try and copy this, it's not going to come out like this. Because
So
you are you, and your brain thinks a certain way, and your life experience is a certain way. And it's about your journey. Like this is about my journey. And I do these paintings every couple of years when I go to paint a subject again. It comes out differently because somehow my brain has been doing things unbeknownst to me. It's been thinking about things and figuring things out. And so I approach each subject a little bit differently. And also, somehow I get to create something that is a little closer to what I want to say. And the truth of it is, I don't think we ever get there. Because it's like the greyhounds when they race and the bunny is in front of them, they're never going to catch that bunny. It's not
Well,
going
it's
to happen.
because it's constantly changing, constantly.
It's constantly changing. We are changing. We are evolving.
Morphing.
And we always, our humanness is that in the main, we always ask more of ourselves. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. However, that good thing could be bad if it turns into pressure.
Right.
So,
Pressure.
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 Okay, so that's Queen, right? Pressure coming down on me,
That's right.
pressure. I love Queen. That when you do the lotus, we're going to do the leaves first. And then we're just going to work in the other elements because the leaves are so ginormous. You could really do a painting leaves only, maybe the leaves in a couple pods. And I've also done that, and it's very interesting in ink only. If you did in color, maybe not so interesting, but with ink, it's about the areas of tone. Mm-hmm. And what we want to work on is getting light, dark, thick, thin, rough, smooth. Okay, so that's a lot to remember. I don't know. Should I make a note on that? Okay, and you want to use your largest brush. Let's get all these to the side. And
Largest.
all right.
Oh,
I suggest you use a soft brush. And Tom Chow, our calligrapher, who's here every month, he explained to the class so brilliantly. Okay, you really don't want to attempt this as a new student, or even, it took me years to get up enough nerve, because it's a soft brush made out of sheep or goat hair, holds a lot of water, and you do one stroke and it's done. And so, however, master calligraphers love using these. And it's like, what? I don't get it, because it's impossible. It's like painting with a tiger at the end of a leash, you know, and you're going,
yeah.
Okay, tiger, now paint. It won't really work. And he said, what master painters and calligraphers love about these brushes is their unpredictability.
Oh.
The fact that crazy things will happen. And that's what makes it art. So if we can get away from the idea of doing a pretty picture, you know, something botanically, not that there's anything wrong with it, you know, botanically correct, but that's not what this class is, okay? And that's more the fine line that you see in the palace painters that work for the emperors, and they would do these perfect butterflies I told you about, and just perfect flowers. Well, they did layers of thin washes. They did an initial sketch and then built it up layer by, but they weren't really considered artists. Because that gets us back to what is an artist? An artist is someone who can express their feelings on paper. Well, if you're working for the emperor, and the emperor says, I want 10,000 butterflies by tomorrow, you're not going to have your feelings in those butterflies. You're just going to be doing it by rote. So it was more of a guild. They were more, they weren't really considered artists, although they did beautiful work. And we look at it and go, wow, that's so beautiful. But the real artists in China were the Shaolin scholars who did not consider themselves as artists. They were men of culture and cultivation, and they felt that you should be able to paint, do beautiful calligraphy, know your history, be able to write poetry. Once I asked a class at the Huntington to do a haiku on their painting, and everyone nearly passed out. I had such a revolt on my hands because it was just a bridge too far.
Can we try that today?
Yes, exactly. You see?
I love haiku.
All right.
You do. You're very good at it. Of course she wants to do it.
Yeah, right. So we'll just put her over there and let her do that, right? So, but they could do that, and that's why when you see a painting and you see a lot of writing on it, maybe even a friend wrote on the painting, or maybe the emperor did. Maybe the emperor put his chopper in the middle of it, or whatever, because it was all about expression. It was all about saying, "I really love this clunk." That's my chop. Okay, so back to our subject. What you want to do, no matter what the subject is, you want it to be somewhat recognizable. So that means you pick out the main characteristic and you emphasize that. So short of the 4 gentlemen, which are all done in a prescribed manner, in other words, a bamboo leaf, you have to do it a certain way. But when you paint anything else, wisteria, iris, the lotus, you can go for it, and it can be your feelings completely. You're not handcuffed by how it's supposed to be. You know, plum, when the 4 gentlemen, it's done a certain way. Okay, enough said. So what's one of the main characteristics of the lotus are the leaves. And you have these ginormous leaves, right? But they're also very thin and they kind of flap around, which means that as soon as they unfold, the wind attacks, bugs attack, so you can have holes in them, all kinds of things. So we're going to even try and express that. And what I want you to do, using your largest brush, and okay. This may not even be large enough, I don't know. And we're just going to do a wipe stroke. Let's try changing up the composition.
So that's really wet. That's wet.
Really wet. But I want you to work fast, so you just do like that, okay? And
Side of the brush.
it's a wipe stroke. That's what you're doing. You are wiping the paper. Oh, see, there's a fold here. Try not to, I just grabbed this sheet of paper, but try not to paint where you have a fold, because that's going to happen. But that's going to be my little bug hole right there, okay? And I can see this brush isn't even big enough for this size paper, okay? So I'm going to a larger brush and see. Now, the thing is, I have no idea how these strokes are going to turn out. It's going to be so unpredictable, but that is the excitement of this particular subject, okay?
We don't have a handout on it, we're just going for it.
We'll get your handout
okay.
on it. All right, no problem. Okay, so now I have to remember that fold. That's going to be really a problem for me. Okay, maybe not.
Can we use the paper for
You know, I'm just wondering if that would even do any good. Okay. And I'm trying, what I would love to do, you want to get things like this flying white going on. That's so...
Are those leaves? Okay.
This is a leaf.
One leaf. So it's broken up. It's broken up and
It's a ginormous leaf. Okay.
But it's been tattered and stuff? Or is it? It's been
apparently so.
Okay.
Apparently so.
Okay.
It has suffered.
I know nothing about
It
the
has
lotus.
suffered greatly. Okay. All right. So
Got it
first
now.
off, when
Now
the
it's
leaf-
gorgeous.
Before it was just a blob, and now it's gorgeous. Okay, the leaf comes out of the slimy. The reason why the lotus is so exciting is because it is this pristine, beautiful flower that rises out of the slime. Mm-hmm. And it's such a metaphor for life.
Yeah.
Okay, so think down here we got all the slime and this is coming up, and the leaf comes up furled. So it's no pressure, press down, and then like so. And then this is how it starts. This is a new leaf, and so it starts no pressure, press down, and pull it together like so.
Two-stroke, okay, so the
Okay,
top and the...
and so,
That's beautiful.
and I mean, already I can see that I almost have a painting. Okay, so I could have my stem come this way, but I think I'm going to have it go that way.
Because she's left-handed.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so, right, right. And let's just have something here like that. Okay, so far it's okay.
That's
All right.
beautiful.
So I may or may not do a flower. Let me show you how to do a pod. All right. What happens with the lotus, you have this beautiful flower. Let's just, all right, let's just, okay, this is going to be
The flower peeking out, or?
exactly. Okay, that's all the flower I'm going to show. Okay, just because. What you have your bud, which is like any other bud. It has the calyx and so forth, and then they start opening up. In the center, I think we've all seen the pods when they dry. Florists use them, you know, and if you shake it, it's like beans inside. So inside here, when you start seeing it, you can't see the pod, but you see all the yellow stamen. And they're just hundreds of them, yellow stamen. So as the petals start falling down, the pod, you know, is there, and you'll see sometimes a few of the stamen connected to the pod. Okay, so let me show you what that would look like. Let's just, all right. So it's shaped kind of like this, like so, and then like so, and then here we have stuff. I just call it stuff, right? Okay, like so. And then we're going to have a stem for that. And so I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 4 elements, so I need more.
You need another one.
I need another. Oh, this is, you know, it's like when you go to the grocery store and you're picking out apples. And you pick out 5 apples and you want 1 more. And it takes you longer to pick that last apple. Isn't that the truth?
yes.
Okay, so I have the same predicament here, so, okay, so that's, okay, so I need 1 more something. Okay, so what could it be? Ah, another leaf.
Yeah, leaf at the bottom?
Another, yes, I will, thank you, yes, I will do another leaf. So I don't want you to forget to do the measles. What is that, like we do the monster mash? So just give them the measles, like so. And don't have these be, you know, you could even have some just kind of be liney and, you know, just boop, 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 like so. Okay. Another thing that you have to be mindful of, which no one has noticed here, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 elements, and I only have 3 stems. Ta-da! So no matter what you're painting, you want to be sure.
But isn't this coming from this one though?
No, because this is a
the
leaf.
stem?
This is from. This
Stem.
is coming. This is the
Coming from the side, huh?
No,
Where's the
it's coming
stem?
from that leaf.
It's not the
Yeah. It's not done, so we don't need a stem on that one.
We do because
Need a
it's
flower.
there.
It's hanging.
It's just hanging there. From where? From when?
From birthing in here,
Okay.
right? No.
All right.
I
All right.
totally
Take my
agree.
word for it. This is a flower, which is way too big for the size of this. But anyway, remember I said we don't have to worry about perspective. So the fact that this is a ginormous flower, we're not going to worry about. But the center of it would be about here. And so just there, that'll be. Now, I could have used a larger brush, but oh well. All right. And then just, again, the measles. All right. So,
You're saying that the flower doesn't come off the same stem as the leaf.
thank you. Ta-da, exactly. It does not come off the same stem. Each no? You don't?
Yeah, okay. I just don't understand this flower yet. Okay, I just got
you.
it. I just picture, okay, got
Okay,
it.
all right, picture this,
I
right?
pictured another
Picture
flower
this.
and how
Oh.
it works, yes.
All right, that's another thing. You want to always, when you set out to paint any subject, you want to have a picture or an idea of that subject. One time at the Huntington, we're doing koi, carp koi, and then also goldfish. And I go to do the koi, and I'm thinking goldfish still, because that was my earlier demonstration. So I had a new species of fish.
Oh, you had a combo.
Because I wasn't, yeah. So we have to have our subject in mind. So what do we want to do? Let's just think maybe push up. And see again, my brush
Takes a lot
was,
of paint.
yeah, right, exactly.
Oh, I like
That's
that.
nice.
Okay, so it's a ploppy-doppy, but if you remember the examples from the New York Times of what's considered great art for, say, $18 million, okay, someone go, wow, look at that, that's amazing, right? But someone else would go, wow, what were they doing? What were they smoking, right? Okay, all right, now, to vein or not to vein? That is the question, right? So, the veins all stem from a single area here. They would all come from there, and they would all come, say, down here, and then do this thing, do one of those. And you don't have to end the vein within the area that you created. If you go for too precise, it just ruins the whole, just what you're going for, right? Okay. And so, and the faster you can do this, you know, I say the better. And notice the brush was left here and that made a blobby blobby, but you know, maybe, I have an idea.
Maybe it's a leaf or something.
A part of the leaf, huh?
Oh.
Oh!
We need to leave wet brushes underneath our painting.
Right.
Swap 'em around.
Be prepared for happy accidents. Always. Okay, so I could vein this. If you vein one leaf, you need to vein them all, and so.
But you don't necessarily have to vein them, right?
No, you do not. And sometimes, you know, it's like, I'm just leaving that alone. Okay, so what do I have here? I probably have enough, right, for my composition. Now, all right, so everyone is kind of freaking out about composition and how do I do that and what should I do? And I say, just go for it. It's just a piece of paper. If you're doing ink only, I'd like you to do 5 of these. How long did this take? This was what, 10 minutes?
Hour and a half.
I did not take an hour and a half. Okay, so I would like you to just play and see where your imagination takes you.
You want us to go that big?
And, no, not necessarily, but
Yeah.
I just grabbed this piece of
Yeah,
paper.
okay.
And you might decide you just want to do just the leaves. Just practice doing the leaves. Do I have enough in this painting?
I don't know, it seems like it wants more.
It wants more, but
wants
what does it
something.
want? Okay, so now this is bizarre, and I've never done this one before. Okay, but why not, right? I mean, be
You want
brave.
another flower in there?
I could do another flower, but
What were you thinking?
Dragonfly.
no.
We're guessing here.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Over that corner's calling to me, I don't know why.
Here or here?
There,
Oh,
up
there,
there.
yeah.
No, that has
Too
to
western.
stay. Yes, too
That's too
western.
western.
See, I would put it
The
there
balance,
too.
the balance.
I would have put it there too.
No. Really?
Where would you put
Well,
it?
what do you
Nan?
want to put there? What would you put there?
You said we
No
were talking
idea.
about the flower, part of a flower coming down, kissing the
You
top of the
know,
page.
okay, my idea, and I'll probably get voted down, and
The painting.
it may not work, but I was thinking of just a stem coming down. But then I'd have to cross over all this. But what do you think of that? What if I did just a stem going down? Would that be freaky?
Like it. Try it.
Should
Try
I try it?
it. Okay. We can vote when you say.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what's the worst case scenario? I've ruined a painting, right? I mean, this is not the
You've
end of the
ruined
world.
I ruined lots of paintings.
15 minutes of yours.
Right. 13 minutes of my life shot.
Gone forever.
Right.
Not really.
But, you know, I love this darkness here.
Is it a dark one?
So I'm going to do a dark one. I tell you when I'm going to do a dark one. Because if I do a light one, I'm going to have to stop here, pick it up again, stop here, pick it up again. That's trouble. Okay? And just right here in River City. So I'm going to do a stem.
It's going to
Right.
cross the front of all of those.
This is where we pray, okay? All right, man.
Where's it
Think.
going?
It's like a music man with the handcuffs and it's going, think, man, think. Okay, so it's going...
But it's going to go
But you're going to go over
all
trouble. Are you going to go
No,
over?
I'm going over trouble
Over
instead of
trouble.
behind trouble.
I
And
like
this is scary.
the-
This- wow, you would go behind, but then that's even more trouble.
Yeah. See, that's where I go. Oh.
No.
Right.
You know, if I didn't have that bump, I wouldn't have done that, but I kind of like it. It's so weird, I like it, okay? And to me, my goal in my head, what I'm going for is really crazy lotus. You know, I'm going for that kind of, I think it's a lotus, I don't know. Harry, what do you think? You think it's a lotus?
What was she thinking when she did that?
What was she thinking? But even with this bump and everything, I got news for you. I'm liking it.
The dark adds a lot to it.
It adds a lot to it, and I'm exactly. Okay, because to me, the lotus is all about drama. It's the one subject that I can think about that is like, it's like kabuki theater. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really loving, actually, I wish I had done more like that. So I'm going to get another piece of paper and play some more. But, okay, what are my objections about this? I'm not happy with this, but it's not the end of the world. This is okay. This is okay. I don't know how I got the blobby dobbies there, but whatever. But for my first one of the day, while my brain is still going, oh, that's what we're doing today, it's not bad. You know? And what my favorite part of the whole painting is this. I don't know. What can I say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I think
You're painting.
all right, so Nita,
Yes.
right, it's my painting,
It's
right,
your
so
painting.
whatever I say,
Yes.
right. Okay, so, but we kind of understand the idea of it. We've got big floppy leaves. I think it's a good idea to do the leaves first because compositionally they anchor the painting. And then you just see, what do I have room for? Don't fill up everything. That's why I didn't want to fill this up.
Maybe we shouldn't have the paper to go look at.
Good idea. Okay.
Oh.
All
Because it
right.
gets in the way of our, oh, I have to do it like that. Well, maybe not.
Okay.
No, I agree.
You agree.
You
So
feel
just you're in a go for it mood.
Just go for it. Yeah. And so when you think, okay, so the lotus flower is like the magnolia. You know, we see
yeah,
the magnolia
that's
trees
true.
with those big. So it's the same exact flower. It really is.
Oh, like the magnolia.
It's like the magnolia.
That was
So-
my next question to ask you. Do you look at something first? Because I can't remember exactly what the lotus.
Okay, Western style, we go in the garden, we see a rose, we cut the rose, bring it in, put it in a vase and paint. Eastern style, we go to the same garden, we see a rose, and we really look at the rose. And we see, what do the leaves look like? And how are the veins on this? And is there more than one blossom from the stem? And what's going on? What's the calyx? We really look at it. We absorb it so much that it's a no-brainer to just sit down and do it. See, so that's the difference. A completely different philosophy. When you go to Japan, when the cherry blossoms are in bloom, you'll see people standing around one tree for hours. For hours. And go, wow, what's with that? Because what do? We go, oh, look at the pretty tree. And then we're all somewhere else. We have the attention span of a gnat. So if I asked you, can you describe various barks on various trees? You go, well, no. Can you tell me on the Japanese iris, is there one or more blossoms from a single stem? You go, well, gosh, I don't really know.
One?
See, yes, one. But you've had the class, so you know. Or maybe you know anyway.
You have to get something right.
Right. So what happens is your powers of observation, painting like this, really develop. Because I have people, they take classes and then all of a sudden they say, I see trees. We really think we do, but we don't. We really don't observe. And it's all about observing. And that's life. It's about being present. There's so much talk now, being authentic, being present in the moment, blah, blah, blah. That's all you hear. But that's the truth of it. It is true. Let's be awake and truly present in the moment. Let's not be thinking about the thing we got to deal with next week or whatever, right? Just whatever you're doing, be fully present. Bring all of yourself to it. Okay? And if you do that, oh my goodness, your whole life will change. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Money back guarantee.
Money back.
Okay, so we're going to get to it.